Hey, how y'all doing? Listen, because I want to be as transparent and accessible as possible, I wanted to give you a short recap of some of the work that we've done, in the recent days on your behalf. I've said it to many of you all before. I try to say it every time I get the chance to be in front of people. I do not take the responsibility to serve you lightly. I couldn't take it more seriously, and I couldn't be more honored to do it. My goal every single day is to just work for you and to make your life easier and make your life better. And I think I'm really in an incredible place to be able to do that, to be able to play that role in your life. So that's my goal each and every day. I hope you feel that I'm accomplishing the mission in that aim. In my opinion, the bottom line is that our government, it's not working. It hasn't been working in the right way. It's one of the most common things that I hear about from families across our district is just that they are constantly or have been constantly falling further and further behind. And it always seems as though that's layered on top of the conversation that government is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And those are two things that I think absolutely are correlated. In that, I can tell you that one of the biggest reasons for this is that regulations really, they're out of control. Red tape, it's preventing small business owners from even just turning the key often in their own doorway in the morning. And the growing size of the executive branch, it's meant that there's more roadblocks for hardworking Americans to go out there and pursue their dreams and to accomplish those great ideas that they have, because it's the government getting in the way, creating hurdles, creating roadblocks. And it's my opinion that the government should be an enabler, not a disabler. And so that's the way I look at it. Federal regulations, to put some numbers to it, they impose somewhere around a burden of $2 trillion a year. That's somewhere about $15,000 per family, and in my opinion, that's not acceptable. I don't want to see that on my family. Most of the people that I know, $15,000 burden on each one of their families. It could be a lot more effectively spent in ways that we decide for ourselves instead of ways that the government decides for us. People here in Washington, D.C. Deciding that, and often people that are not even elected, people that are inside federal agencies that you've never had the chance to vote for in your life. And that's why we recently passed a number of bills to change the way that Washington works, and I'm pretty excited about them. These are bills that put power back in the hands of the people, and one of those is the REINS Act. And the REINS Act very specifically ensures that unelected bureaucrats don't have that never-ending authority to make laws that Congress hasn't approved. And a number of other bills that we passed are already eliminating red tape and government interference into people's lives. Most people I talk to, they're not a fan of more laws. I personally think you deserve more accountability, and people you haven't voted for should be able to force these laws on you, as I already said. And it's in that this week, our Republican conference, both senators and people from the House of Representatives, the president, the vice president, we all met in Philadelphia to plan out what our priorities were for the first 200 days of this new administration. And to go over a couple of those with you, one of the biggest things that we talked about was affordable health care for all Americans. I can tell you that I can speak for myself, certainly, and tell you that is my goal. It's my belief that every American should have access to affordable health care. That's my belief. I'm not going to sit here and speak for every single member of the House of Representatives, but what I can tell you is that I haven't come across one representative from anywhere in the country on either side of the aisle that was sitting up here twisting their mustache, trying to hatch some plan to do something negative for people's healthcare. I haven't come across it. Everybody that I've met up here wants to find an opportunity to get affordable healthcare for every single person back in their district. And we don't always agree on what the best path is to do that, but I can tell you, I found across the board we agree on the goal. And so in that, we talked a lot about it. We talked about just how we can accomplish this, how we have to work together, and I'm looking forward to really unveiling some of the great ideas that we had that came out of this conference, and you all seeing what they were. We're still in the process of working these out between the new Secretary of Health and Human Services, the House, the Senate, the President, everybody putting this all together. But I can tell you, there are going to be some really great ideas that you all will be excited to hear, and that ensure that Everybody has access to health care and affordable health care and plans that you can really use, and that above all, you have the choice to decide what's best for your life. That has been above all the goal that we were looking for, was to put the control back in your life and take the control out of Washington, D.C., especially as it pertains to healthcare. And that was the overarching aim that we sought in everything that we were talking about in terms of healthcare. One of the other big things that we talked about, tax reform. Tax reform is also a goal for the first 200 days. Some of the ideas out there that are not just being floated, these are the plans that are looking to be in place. Lowering it to just 3 brackets for taxes, where the highest rate would be somewhere around 33%, making sure that everybody is absolutely in a lower, being taxed at a much lower rate. I personally believe that you can spend your money a lot better than most of the people that I work with up here every single day, and that's what I want to see happen. And that's not just for individuals, but also for businesses, eliminating, or as we were saying, killing the death tax. I thought that was a very good way to put it, that we would kill the death tax. A number of other things, making sure that you can fit it on a postcard, that it's very simple. People don't have to spend near as much money trying to get their taxes done. There's some really great ideas that came out of this conference, and again, we're going to be looking forward to bringing all of these ideas to your purview so that you can see what they are, and I think you're going to be happy about those as well. Prior to this meeting, I can tell you I've collected a lot of responses from people across the district. I appreciate you sending in your letters, sending me your Facebook, your Twitter. As many of you learned, I try to get back to all of you on Facebook. Maybe not all of you, but as many of you as I can on Facebook. So keep sending me those messages, keep sending us the letters. Among the top responses have been cleaning our waterways. As most of you know, I've made this my top priority. I'm very proud to say that I was placed on the committee that I spoke so much about being placed on, the Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure. It's really going to allow me to be in the right place to do the work that we need to do for our local waterways. So I couldn't be more excited about that, and I think I'm also going to have some further exciting news about the subcommittees that I'm placed on, but I have to wait till that news is actually official to give that to you, so maybe I'll be giving that to you next week. You may have also heard that I secured a spot on the Committee of Foreign Affairs. That's another very important committee for what's going on in the role of the United States of America and how we play with the rest of the world, so I'm very excited about that one. And look forward to getting to work on both of those committees as we get back here next week, Monday. Finally, I just wanted to say this. It's something that I try to say every time I have the opportunity to address you all. Just remind myself, remind everybody, how honored I am, how humbled I am to serve you. The office that I'm sitting here in right now, the walls are pretty plain. I haven't had a lot of chance to put a lot of things on the office, so it's kind of boring in here in terms of what you'd look at, but it doesn't change the fact that this office belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me, and so as I always say, I welcome you anytime to come by this office, come by our district office, share with me your thoughts, or with my staff, your thoughts, your opinions. I can't necessarily guarantee that we're going to agree on everything, but I can promise that I will listen, and I will listen intently. I will care about what you're saying. I will never treat you with contempt. I will always give you the respect that you deserve, and I'll hope that in the end, we all learn something from each other every time we get the chance to correspond. So thank you again, and I'll see you all soon.